Insperity HR that makes a difference. Visit Insperity.com for powerful HR solutions with exceptional fall through. 713-780-3776 is the number to get in here. As far as the world of golf is concerned, you can also get your questions in on X at ESPN975. Charlie, how was the week?
Spring is here.
Yeah, golf season's here.
Fun time of the year in Houston, Texas, where we've got March Madness. We got baseball, the Astros. I got my Astros hat on.
Shohei may be out for the season. That'd be great for the Astros.
Well, last night I watched the Astros play. My grandson's a one-hitter they pitched.
Wow.
Won it 3-1.
Your son's on an Astros team this year?
Yeah.
Over in Post Oak?
Yeah, Post Oak.
And he's on the Astros team.
Yeah.
He's in the majors now.
Yeah.
The team names are MLB names. That's exciting stuff, Charlie.
And he's a catcher, and he's just developing so fast. And watching these kids in February and see where they are now, the end of March, it's incredible. Double plays, the infielders are playing baseball, so that's fun. But I went yesterday and picked up my credentials for the Houston Open. Jim Crane has magic. I mean, he has really done so much for our city, starting with, of course, the Astros. When he bought them and he went through 2 years of bad play.
Yeah. 100-plus lost seasons.
And now he's got the tour event over at Memorial. That's a special place in golf. I mean, it was incredible back in the 40s and 50s and all the.
It was an Army base at one point, wasn't it, Charlie?
Oh yeah. No, it's a great history of Memorial Park. Was given to the city from a very, very wealthy family, so it's great. I'm going on, but it's great. It's springtime is magical.
And Charlie, Memorial Park, and we're gonna have a great field here next week. World number 1 Scotty Scheffler is gonna be here.
Scotty, how about Scotty?
What a week at the Players. I mean, just took over on Sunday. Charlie, 8 under 64. We have not seen a better final round on a Sunday this year, besides Hideki 62 at Riviera.
How many victories does Scotty have?
Well, on the tour, this is the 7th, Charlie. But
In his
overall,
career?
a lot more.
80 plus.
Yeah. It's kind of like go ahead.
This kid can win. He's a winner.
When you look at last week in the Players and this consistency that Scheffler's building, he won Bay Hill and then he defended his title at the Players. When you think of the dominant runs that you've watched in your lifetime, Nicholas Woods, how does what you're seeing compare to that?
When you do what he does, not only being what they say a mediocre putter, and you can still dominate and shoot the low score, but his victory at the Players was magnificent. I mean, he had the trial of Friday where his neck froze up, and then coming down the stretch, he was just incredibly sharp with his distance control, with his spot-on putting.
Yeah.
So it was so much fun. I wonder what the other guys are thinking.
Well, that's kind of where we're going next. I mean, we've seen dominant runs with Jordan Spieth, in 2013. Rory, Justin Thomas, but at 27 years old, Scotty Scheffler's top 10 percentage is 65%, Charlie.
65.
We have not seen that since 27-year-old Tiger Woods. Only Tiger ever won Bay Hill and then won the Players the very next week. But from the perspective of the other guys, maybe the class of 2011, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Daniel Berger, that class. Charlie, it's interesting because Scheffler has a baby due the week of the Olympics. Meredith is likely going to have their first child the week of the Olympics. And you look at what's changed in the other players' lives that were dominating this game. Jordan, wife, 2 kids. Justin Thomas did not finish outside the top 12 on a FedEx Cup money list for the first 9 years of his career. In 2023, he gets married. He doesn't make the playoffs, barely makes the Ryder Cup. When you Rahm did get married, have kids, still dominating the game to some degree. We haven't seen him
He's not
much.
dominating. Where's he playing?
Yeah, where is John Rahm? Where is John? We haven't heard him.
John who?
But you know where I'm getting at, Charlie. Do you see, is Scheffler, does he have the head on his shoulders to manage the family and manage dominating professional golf?
You know, every indication is he's got it. He understands. He always respects his wife so much in victory, and tells everybody how much he loves her, and it's great. His mom and dad are outstanding, so the pedigree is there.
I felt some Tiger energy when I was watching on Sunday. Like I said, Scotty 64, second best final round of the year. He posted a 64 and then just hung out in the clubhouse. That was the mantra of Nicklaus and Woods, wasn't it? You post and wait. You let everyone else make mistakes.
Yeah, if you're not leading, so everybody else was playing golf, and the course was playing differently for them than he just had total control. Like I told you, on the 12th hole, the driver par 4. His yardage was perfect with the driver, 346 yards or whatever, pin high. Yeah. I mean, that's an incredible feat, and it just shows you how into his golf swing he is. And Randy Smith, bless his heart, is one of the great teachers of golf in the United States, junior golf. And this guy came from New Jersey. His parents moved to Houston, and then Scotty started working out with Randy in junior golf, and he's brought him along to this point. It's just marvelous. Randy
Smith got to be one of the best coaches in Texas,
and he's the best person. He's a nice country guy from West Texas, but he has a magic touch.
Yeah, and credit to Phil Kenyon, Charlie. I don't know if you've done much work with Phil Kenyon. He's still working with Scotty as far as the putting is concerned. Scotty had a good week on the greens last week. When you think about Scotty's feet and a junior golfer, an amateur watching his feet, I think that's what comes to mind to all of us when watching him swing. His feet can go all over the place. How do you translate that?
It's wonderful. It's his whole body is involved in the swing, and there's no tightness. He can move the club with his body, not with his hands, and the footwork is so important. Jack Nicklaus, his left heel always came off his right and left knee behind the ball, and he'd move into it with his feet, just like Sandy Koufax, the great pitcher. Yeah. Greg Norman was the same way. Greg Norman was one of the best drivers of all time. Arnold Palmer, and really the golf swing starts from the ground up, and you've got to have great footwork to really be able to swing the club, and boy, he can do it.
He sure can. Scheffler, 5-shot victory. We got a question in on the players from Pat and Spring. Charlie, we saw Xander Schauffele and Brian Harmon really struggle on the green Sunday at Sawgrass. How do you train putting to hold up down the stretch of big pressure situations?
Well, practice. You got to have that discipline of practice. I proved that with my man, Uncle Cabrera, once he got into practicing. And the great coach, Tom Landry, told me, back when in the heyday of the Dallas Cowboys, I said, Coach, how come you guys win so much? He says, because I convinced my team that the only way they're going to play good on Sunday is they've got to practice on Wednesday. Yeah. And it's all about practice and rehearsal. Do it over and over and over. It's just like Broadway. Broadway is a unique situation where they work 300 days a year, and they keep doing it over, repetition, over and over and over.
You don't see everyone needs a routine, in their putting stroke, right,
yes.
Charlie? I
yes.
mean, as you're approaching the ball and about to putt, everyone needs to be rehearsing a similar routine every time, right?
Once you get the ball on the green, and as you walk up to the green, that's when putting starts. So you're surveying the lay of the land, and you're getting the feel for gravity. Learn how to read the putts.
You brought up Cabrera, Charlie.
Yes.
We've got some discussion on Cabrera today.
Yes, I got. It's unfortunate, but he's going to
What's
get
the latest,
through this.
Charlie? What's the latest?
The latest is, and excuse me, the latest is that he was let out of prison on parole, and his sentence really finishes December the 20th of this year. So you can't issue somebody a visa when he's on parole.
Got it.
And the United States denied him that privilege. And I had a friend tell me, he said, well, tell Angel to go up to Mexico and come through.
Yeah, the border. He should. He could get away with it after what we saw this week. What a disgrace. What an embarrassment to the country.
It's embarrassing, but he's going to be okay.
Yeah, this is 2009 Masters champion Angel Cabrera we're talking about. Your best student, two-time major champion, 2007 Oakmont U.S. Open, 2009 Masters. Charlie, it's amazing they can't just let him come play for 4 years. You would have thought 3 years in the sin bin was long enough as far as penalties are concerned, but any type of like I said, maybe you do. I do not know exactly the type of domestic abuse that was practiced. It's a tough hill to climb up, but nonetheless, 3 years in jail, Charlie. I was fully expecting to see Angel at Augusta this year.
Well, yeah, but we got the governments do things certain ways, and that's life. Let's move on.
Yep. This week, the PGA Tour moves on to the Valspar Championship as we are 3 weeks away from Augusta, Charlie. Kevin Streelman leads the way. He went 64-72. Charlie, Kevin Streelman, he had 24 putts in the first round, 36 putts in the second round. As a pro, how does that happen on pure PGA Tour greens?
The hole shrunk on him.
Yeah.
It's how that he had one of those out of the mind experiences on the first day. You had 22 putts or some ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah.
That's even happened to me in my career. The game, if you play it long enough, will give and it'll take. And he experienced that great putting round. But he birdied the last hole on
Friday.
On Friday. Out of the bunker, and I wish him luck this weekend. He's a great guy.
Yeah, on the other side, we'll talk about another just impressive story. Tied for the lead is Stuart Sink at 50 years old. Last time we saw him won 2021 RBC Heritage. He won that for the third time in his career. Brendan Todd also tied in the lead. And then there's 27-year-old first-year PGA Tour pro Chandler Phillips out of Texas A&M University from Huntsville, Texas. 68-68, 33-1 heading into the weekend. You've got Justin Thomas, who's 2 shots back. I see Stuart Sink, Justin Thomas, and Chandler Phillips being in the final pairing on Sunday tomorrow. I think it's going to be a hell of a showdown. I think you've got Sink, who's 50. He's the veteran. He's the journeyman. He can still win on the PGA.
What did you say, 33? What's that all about? 33 to what?
33-1 odds for Chandler Phillips to win this week.
You don't bet on golf, do you?
It can be a crazy one to bet on, but fantastic odds nonetheless. You can't find the odds in any other sport which you can find in golf. Look at our first-time PGA Tour winners this year: Charlie Grayson Murray, Jake Knapp, Austin Eckroat. Also on the other side, we're going to talk about what first-time players at the Masters have to do to prepare.
Yes.
All right, because Taylor Moore talked in his press conference this week. He said he spent too much time in the pro shop last year, too much time trying to buy the gnome, Charlie.
You know where Augusta. Santiago was last week?
De La Fuente?
Yeah.
Augusta? Wow.
Our good friend.
Yeah. We had University of Houston Junior, I'm 3 minutes past the break, Santiago de la Fuente on a couple weeks ago. You can go find our podcast with him on Apple Podcasts. But we got to go to break. We'll be right back here on the other side. This is the Charlie Epps Golf Hour.
You're listening to the Charlie Epps Golf Hour on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
Powered by Insperity.
From the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's Will Doctor and the Golf Doctor himself, Charlie Epps.
All right, back here on the Charlie Epps Golf Hour, presented by Insperity, HR that makes a difference. Charlie, you just gave me some incredible news. Memorial Junior or senior now?
Senior.
Memorial Senior.
High school.
SMU.
No, TCU.
TCU Horned Frogs commit Charlie Wiley made it through the pre-qualifier Thursday for the Houston Open Monday qualifier.
That's it.
A chance to play in his first tour event this week. Monday is going to be a great experience, Charlie.
Yes, it is.
I keep saying SMU. It's TCU.
TCU. He had originally, had a verbal commitment to SMU, and in today's recruiting and so on and so forth, TCU really gave him a great offer, and that's where he's going.
That's great to hear. I'm getting some information on the Houston Open Monday. Right now, I don't know the exact Do you know the exact location?
Westwood.
It's at Westwood.
Yes.
It switches every 2 years. It goes from Westwood to is it Blackhawk?
Blackhawk out at
it's where Jesse moved. The assistant from Whispering Pines, Jesse, he moved to take a position at a course where it sometimes is. But that's going to be a great test. And I advise fans can go to Monday qualifiers anytime they want for free.
Sure.
And you can find, it takes a little digging, but some incredible stories.
That's right.
You got some guys sleeping in their vans in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
you got tour winners.
Yeah, right.
Past tour winners that want to get into the Houston Open, sponsored by the Texas Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And that's just the magic of Jim Crane. You know, he wants something, he gets it. And he got us a spring date, and he got a great sponsor, Texas Children's Hospital. Houston's, is famous for its medical care, and so it's all good.
It's a great partnership. PGA Tour Commissioner, he put Crane on the spot to some extent to go raise another $10 million and get that purse up to $20 million. And kudos to Jim Crane, he got it done.
Well, but we're not a what they call elevated tournament.
No. So but they still had to get that purse to a place where
it got it up, and
it could be a spring event.
Yeah,
it's not easy to be a spring event these days.
But
so
it is now.
Yeah, it is. We'll go Houston Open next week, San Antonio Open, and then Augusta. Charlie, I know you don't want to go down the rabbit hole that this PGA Tour PIF situation is, but there was a meeting Monday. We got to keep people informed. There was a meeting Monday in the Bahamas, PGA Tour between the PIF and the PGA Tour. PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan came out after and said, once again, the deal hasn't been done. We're still in discussions. But Charlie, Golf Channel's Todd Lewis gave us 3 key topics that the Tour and the Saudis are currently disagreeing on. Number 1, how much money is the PIF going to invest in the PGA Tour? Number 2, where does the team aspect come into play? The Saudis want team play more involved in professional golf. And then number 3 is the live golfers' pathway back to the PGA Tour. What do penalties look like and things of that nature?
Why do you think they want a team event?
Well, the only logical reason I can understand is that the Saudis have watched events like the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup and see that they're the best events that there are.
They want to be able to sell franchises. They want to be able to sell a franchise to Detroit. And that's where they're going to recoup a lot of this incredible money that they're putting out.
Okay.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you say, the Ryder Cup is a great venue. It's a great tournament.
But what makes it that, Charlie? It's the history.
It's the history, exactly right. But it's just like the NFL. They've created a monster of a sporting event, and they end up in the aftermath of the season with all the playoffs, and they lead up to
the finale,
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So it's all marketing. It's all and they're using the game. See, golf has gone through.
It's a pond now, Charlie.
Yeah, golf, just like any other sport, has gone through growing pains. And the PGA of America was established in 1916, and that's when the golf started really getting managed by professionals, and they started the tours and so on and so forth. And then in 1968, the players decided to break away from the PGA of America, and they wanted to control what they were doing. And so the PGA separated. The PGA of America is association by 30,000 golf pros, men and women running the game of golf. The PGA Tour is running its business.
Yeah.
And
tournament golf at the highest level.
At the highest level. Now the
And when did that split happen? PGA of America and the PGA Tour. 68. Okay.
Nicklaus and Player, and then they got their first commissioner, Dean Beeman, the architect of the Players tournament, so on and so forth. So it's a transformation. It's just like any other thing. Businesses acquire businesses, so they're working and trying to make this all work. It's a big task, but I think eventually they'll get there. And I said this from the beginning.
Yeah. From day one.
Day one. This is the way it's going to work out.
They're all going to come together,
and that's why they're going to need Insperity.
Yeah, they are. Charlie, tell us more about our friends over at Insperity.
Insperity, we're getting ready for the Insperity Invitational.
We sure
their
are.
annual Senior Champion Tour event, where the best players from yesteryear come and play out at the golf course in the Woodlands, the Players Tournament course.
Right off Millbend there.
That's it, and it's just a great celebration. But it shows people what kind of company that Insperity is and how they do business, and it's all about relationships and treating people right. Everybody gets to go to the invitational for free. Come on out, join us during the week of the
April 29th to May 5th, 2024.
Right. And everybody's going to get treated like you love to get treated. It's a wonderful deal. They bring in the greats of golf. Everything is thought out correctly, and the team at Insperity have hired Brian Noggles to come in and run the event. It's grown over 20 years. Now it's the best invitational on the Champions Tour because they do everything, and the players love to come to Houston for many different reasons, but mainly because of the way they're treated at this tournament. So if you want to grow your business and you got a small business that you need some help with and information, log on to Insperity.com, see what they're all about, and I guarantee you want to grow your business, Insperity will help you, starting with HR. It's an HR company that has perfected the art of helping small businesses, and I'm so proud that I've been able to be associated with them since 1986, and I've seen them grow, and they've been our sponsor, and they're a great company.
Yeah, and tournament director Brian Noggle, what an impact he's had on the game. I love his stories with the great Dave Marr. And he really, he puts on, I go to about 6 to 7 Champions Tour events the last 2 years. The Insperity Invitational by far is the best one. We'll begin the action April 2nd at the Woodlands Country Club for the Media Day.
Right.
Boo Weekly and I will be hosting that. I can't wait. Booyah!
Booyah!
Yeah.
I got a story about Booyah. Boo helped me.
Can you tell it on here?
I will.
Okay. Oh, yeah, about a minute left, so we'll talk about that on the other side. Let's get this question answered coming out of the PGA Tour PIF conversation before we go to break. This comes from Hayden in Lake Conroe. Charlie, there is rumors swirling that the PIF Governor Yasser Al-Rumayyan wants a membership at Augusta National as part of the PIF's investment in the PGA Tour. Do you see that happening?
Well, there's about 8 million people that want to be members at the great Augusta National. And you don't ask to join. I don't know what this guy's thinking, what the PGA – there's no way that's going to happen.
No?
No.
Is there a wait list, or how does it even work, Charlie?
We don't know.
We don't know. It's
You
like
don't-
it's like get into the chocolate factory.
That's it.
Unbelievable. As far as the Valspar Championship is concerned, you've got a 5-way tie at the top. Kevin Streelman, Chandler Phillips. That's a Texas A&M alum, Chandler Phillips. Stuart Sink, Brendan Todd, Mackenzie Hughes, all tied in the lead. You look at the tie for 6th. It's another jumbled group. You've got Lucas Glover, world number 28, Justin Thomas, Michael Kim, Keith Mitchell, Aaron Baddeley. A big top at the top of the leaderboard. The Valspar, we'll get to more of that on the other side right here on the Charlie Epps Golf Hour, presented by Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
The Charlie Epps Golf Hour, powered by Insperity, continues
On ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
from the Veritex Community Bank Studios. Here's Will Doctor and Charlie Epps.
Okay, welcome back to the Charlie Epps Golf Hour, presented by Insperity, HR that makes a difference. The defending champion this week in Tampa is Taylor Moore, and he did his opening press conference. Taylor Moore's even par going into the weekend at Innisbrook. Not going to have a great shot to defend his championship, but he talked about Augusta and how he won the Valspar last year, and that punched his ticket to his first Masters. And Charlie, he said that, you know, the amount of planning as far as, you know, he took 10 people up there, and then when he got there, you know, him and his girlfriend wanted to go look through the pro shop for 2-3 hours, and then they're getting to the pro shop at 6 a.m. to get this gnome that Augusta gives out to lucky fans. And it just got me thinking, we're 3 weeks out, and, you know, talk about how focused, how hard it is as a player to stay in the moment when you arrive at Augusta.
Well, first of all, they all get their invitations by mail in February. And now they start thinking about Augusta then. I mean, that's the power of this event.
Yeah.
And so then all of a sudden they're going to
Okay, but if you win in March, you get the invitation in March.
Yeah.
Like Austin Eckroat winning.
I'm saying the tournament starts then.
Okay.
And the building up, and then the guys they get their invitations, and they're waiting, because you never know, they might not get it.
Yeah.
So then they have the forget about the tournament. The everybody wants to go in your family to Augusta and experience this. And so then you got to rent houses, and then you got to get people to fly into Atlanta, and then they drive to Augusta, or they go over to South Carolina. It's such a big event. And now Augusta keeps expanding its footprints. It's got its own parking lot now that they bought. They bought over 200 homes around them so that they could control the parking and the experience for the patrons. It's not a gallery; it's the patrons, and so it's a happening, and it's a social event. But it's bottom line, it's a great golf tournament, and all the players want to play in it. Nobody turns down an invitation, and they show up on Monday morning at 6:00, and they'll, I don't know how many shirts they sell the week of Augusta, but it is incredible. I hired the assistant that was in charge of the shirts back in 1978, Mike Shannon, and it's just unbelievable what the assistants have to do. It's the merchandising juggernaut.
All day, it's packed. They've got their own shipping center there.
Yeah.
I walk out. I've only been in 2017 when Willett won and Spieth collapsed, and I had a heart attack that Sunday. But my first experience in the pro shop, I walk out, and there's this attendant there. Says, "Why don't you walk this way? You can ship all your stuff back to Houston from Augusta."
Yeah.
And I had never seen anything quite like that. The Masters dinner, Charlie. Did you see John Rahm's menu?
John Rahm's menu it's
how solid.
It's got some different things that I've never eaten.
You've never eaten some of these?
Yeah, and huh?
You've never eaten some of these things?
I can't remember, and I lived in Spain for 3 years. So
yeah, it's a tough menu to translate here, Charlie. It's not, I guess my mind went to Argentina. This is a different neck of the woods.
Yeah, we have a celebration. They started a new tournament here in Houston to honor our junior golfers, men and women, boys and girls, and we're going to have a dinner at Lakeside Country Club, and we're going to serve what they're serving at the Tuesday night dinner.
Really?
Yes.
The same Mexican food?
No.
I'm sorry, Spaniard food.
Spanish.
Ibertos, tortilla de patatas.
Yeah, that's just the potato pancake, So
you got a choice of a ribeye.
Yep.
And turbot, is that a fish?
I guess so.
There you go. So the junior golf dinner where Charlie Wiley, he's going to get the junior male award, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what do we got? That's 2 weeks from now?
No, that's I think
April 16th.
16th. Yes, at Lakeside.
At 7 p.m.
It's already sold out.
Yeah.
And it's for a cause of raising money.
It's benefiting kids' meals.
And so Joe Pogge and Pete DeLongchamp are the chairman behind this, and it's just another little thing that we can do with golf to help charity, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it should be a great day. I mean, you just got back from a media day for the drive, chip, and putt yesterday at King Ranch Sand Hill Farms. It was put on by the great Thomas Hutton of the STPGA. And then, like you just said, April 16th, the two best junior golfers in Houston are going to be honored. I think you could go around the country and see that there's not a community that's doing more to grow junior golf than Houston right now.
Oh, it's incredible what the Southern Texas PGA has done, and the Houston Golf Association has done in growing junior golf and growing the game. And now with what Mr. Crane is doing, Houston is one of the leading cities in promoting the game. And Jackie Burke would be so happy with what's going on. We lost him here a month or so ago, and he was one of the proponents of, hey, golf is a game, and the kids got to be able to afford it, and he did all he could to do that and to raise money, and I was proud of being one of Jackie's friends and watching him do what he did over the last 50 years is incredible.
He'd be really happy with just the general evolution over the last 3 years of the Houston Open, because the first 2 years that the Houston Open moved to Memorial Park, it was in the fall. November is a tough time for Houston. It's
Yeah.
unfair. It's an unfair time for Houston. We're coming out of the heat of the summer. November can be randomly cold. I mean, when we did the Spirit in
Yep.
2021, it was 40 degrees in the
Yep.
middle of November. You just never know in Houston. And now, 2 years later, I think the course, I've played it 3 times rolling into the tournament. It's looking more gorgeous than it ever has before.
You take this. Is Crane bought the Houston Astros at all-time low.
Yeah.
They went through 200-game seasons, losing 100 games, and then he turned it into a World Series champion. Look what he's done for the Houston Open. He bought it when Shell decided it didn't want to do his sponsorship, and he fought the city to be able to bring the event to Memorial Park because he understood the dynamics of how that can market and we're going to have a great celebration. So,
Great celebration, great field. World number 1, Scotty Scheffler. World number 4, Wyndham Clark. Defending champion, Tony Finau. You'll have Will Zalatoris there. You'll have Jason Day there, Siwoo Kim. And you've got a lot of the first-time winners this year that you'll see in the Masters in 3 weeks. Jake Knapp.
and maybe Charlie Wiley.
Oh, the Monday qualifier. I got to find that for the next segment. Yeah, the Monday qualifier really should be good on Monday at Westwood. Once again, that's free to go out. Monday qualifiers are sometimes better than regular PGA Tour events because you have guys who literally have their whole lives in their car going Monday to Monday trying to get into a PGA Tour event.
Think about what I did in 1980. I flew out to Carmel, California to Monday qualify for a tour event. I had my tour card in 1980.
And you had you were working as a pro, right?
I was working at a pro, and my good friend Dick Harmon, what are you doing, Charlie? What are you doing? I said, I've always wanted to play in the Crosby. Pebble Beach is just an incredible. I'm going to go out and qualify. He said, stay here. I go out and qualify. Experience that, and it was just an incredible experience to play with the best players in the world on Pebble Beach and Cypress Point. It was the last year of the Crosby, and when I got through playing, I went to the putting green, and there's a guy named James Gardner, who is a movie actor. He gave me a big hug. Everybody was happy for me. My good friend John Calabria, God rest his soul, he was there. So yeah, it was fun.
How many Mondays did you do? How many times did you get through a Monday?
Well, I did it in San Antonio for a Champions Tour event. I did it up in San Antonio. In Dallas for the Byron Nelson. I got to play in the Byron Nelson. So yeah, quite a few times.
I'm trying to pull up a field for this week, but it's the toughest test. You have to go out there and shoot 62, over one day for 4 spots.
Yeah, but you only need one spot.
That
Player, and you just go out there and play the best you can. And I knew if I played my game, I had a chance to qualify, and I shot 71 at Pebble and did it. Like I did for the Opens, and I was always a good qualifier.
Yeah, you qualified for 6 majors as well. What's the difference between qualifying for a major and just going and showing up on a Monday? Is there any difference?
It's just 18 holes.
Charlie, what you look at Scheffler in the last 2 weeks, $8.5 million in 2 weeks, 8.5.
I hope he can handle that.
Yeah.
That's a big responsibility, and knowing his mom and dad, and him, he's grounded. He'll be able to handle that, but that's a big responsibility. Once you get in the billions, people come at you from all different ways, and so it's incredible. But
he's not wasting much time out there, though.
He won more money in 2 weeks than Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer won in their career.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Oh, it's 2024, Charlie. I know it's crazy, but the amount of money in the game is just it's bigger than we've ever seen it, and it's thanks to those guys. I mean, it's thanks to Arnie and Jack and Tiger and this natural evolution in the growth of the game.
But
Scotty's got to carry the torch because we need a dominator in this game. It's pretty apparent.
Well, with coffee at $3 a cup.
Is that how much you paid for a small one this morning? We need a dominator in the game, Charlie. It doesn't. When you see Scheffler win in back-to-back weeks, Bay Hill and then Sawgrass, it creates this kind of momentum that we have not seen in a while, and it kind of made me think. Not to degrade on Liv whatsoever, they've got their own thing going on, team format, but like Joaquin Niemann is playing extremely well this year. He won back-to-back tournaments, but it was over a month span.
Yeah.
So you don't really feel that momentum. You need that week after week schedule that the PGA Tour offers.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Rahm plays
At Augusta.
I think he might miss the cut.
Really, Rahm to miss the cut. We need to find
as a defending champion.
We need to find odds on that. I'm excited. Neiman got the sponsors exemption. For winning the Aussie Open. So Augusta kind of.
But he also got it because he's got a poor niece that needs incredible amount of money.
How much more money do you need after the Live deal?
That's.
I reasoned with Joaquin. You're exactly right. He grew up in the farms of Chile, came from nothing, has a sick niece. He needed to go take the Live golf exemption and I guess make money right now.
It's like $1 million a year, some ridiculous, incredible medicine.
No. And Liv will go to Chile. They'll grow the game there, just like they're growing the game in all these different spots they're going to. They're going to come grow the game here in June. Liv Houston, we're excited for that.
And we're going to go there.
Yeah. We'll be doing the show live from the Clown Show at Golf Club of Houston on that Saturday.
Tournament course.
That was a way better prep course. Credit to Jim Crane, what he's done with Memorial Park.
Yep.
There's nothing better than Golf Club of Houston a couple weeks before Augusta.
Yep.
Great golf course. We'll be right back here on the Charlie Epps Golf Hour, presented by Insperity, HR that makes a difference, back after this.
This is the Charlie Epps Golf Hour on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
Powered by Insperity.
Now from the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's Will Doctor and the Golf Doctor himself, Charlie Epps.
Man, what a weekend ahead as far as the Valspar Championship is concerned. Welcome back to the Charlie Epps Golf Hour, final segment here presented by Insperity, HR that makes a difference. I'm dialed in with this leaderboard. I'm dialed in with the action this week, Charlie. Kevin Streelman, Chandler Phillips, Stuart Sink, Mackenzie Hughes, Brendan Todd in a tie for first. I think for the gamblers out there, I've been on Justin Thomas since the start of the week here. His odds, JT, plus 550 going into the weekend. You can't get any value there. The 27-year-old out of Texas A&M, Chandler Phillips, is really impressive. He's a 27-year-old rookie on the PGA Tour. Chandler Phillips, he's made 4 of his first 6 cuts in the Big Show. His game has been rock solid around Copperhead as he's only made 2 bogeys through 36 holes. And minimizing errors is huge around Innisbrook's Copperhead course. You spent a lot of time around Copperhead, haven't you, Charlie?
Yes, I started my career in teaching with Golf Digest, going over to Copperhead and where they're playing the event, and we played the golf course a lot. The golf courses are tight, and the rough is rough, and the greens are small.
Yeah.
So it's a course like Bay Hill. It's a course like the Players. You can win it with 10 under, 12 under.
Yeah, we need more courses like that on the PGA Tour. I like seeing 6 under through the halfway point. I don't like seeing 18 under through the halfway point. This is a championship golf course, Copperhead is, and you can't say that about La Quinta or Vedanta or
no, and they can't have it at all great golf courses. There's going to be some because of the communities that raise the money and that are want a tour event. But this course is exceptional.
Yeah. No, Copperhead surely is. And Stuart Sink, at 50 years old, he's on the Champions Tour, still contending on the PGA Tour. I think that's a great story. Stuart Sink's name might be in the hat when it comes to the Ryder Cup captaincy for the United States 2020.
Assistant captain.
Really? You don't think he'll even be considered after
it's got to be Tiger's
after what happened in Rome?
Tiger is perfect for New York. Yeah. Tiger is, we got to win.
Have to.
And Tiger is a winner.
Yeah.
And he'd do some things off the wall. He's going to understand, who to pick and who not to pick. Let's give him the honor of being the captain of the Ryder Cup in New York.
Yeah, Charlie, I know you're not. I don't know if you've gotten to Full Swing 2, Golf's Netflix, where they're.
I have.
How far are you? How far in are you?
Boy, oh boy.
Dahman was episode 3. Tom Kim was 4. Matthew Fitzpatrick was 5.
Okay, I have the first 3. At this time,
okay. Yeah. No worries. But
they're well done. They've got some good photography, and they got some good comments, and the players are getting the feel for it. I like it.
Yeah, I finally got to the 6th and 7th episode last night, which is where they Full Swing does a great job covering the last Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
And they're with Zach through the United States selections, and they're with Luke Donald through the European selections. It is shocking, Charlie, how much friendships had to do with the selection of the last United States team. They're all staying in the same house every week.
Well, it's part of it.
Yeah.
It's part of it.
But Luke Donald, they showed Luke Donald watching Zach Johnson's captain's picks live.
Yeah.
And Luke turns to the camera and he goes, well, he certainly didn't use any statistics to pick that team.
There you go.
And then when Donald was calling his captain's picks, those Europeans, Nicola Højgaard from Denmark, it's an honor to be on that team for the Europeans. It's not just,
And it's the same as an American.
Not right now,
Yeah,
Charlie.
sure it is. It is.
It is, but they don't look at it as that. You have Cantlay taking off his hat. You've got, there.
Well, there's always got Tom Weiskopf. Tom Weiskopf didn't go one year. He wanted to go hunting. He passed up the Ryder Cup to go hunting, go kill a bear.
He was a different cat, huh?
He was a different.
How many times did Weiskopf finish second to Nicholas, Charlie?
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many.
Was it between 12 to 15 times?
I don't
total?
know. It was a bunch, but Tom respected Jack like nobody else, and like that famous quote of him saying, if he knew what Jack was thinking about, he'd have won 10 more tournaments.
If he could be in that headspace. Charlie, Jordan Spieth, he missed his second straight cut in a row this week in Tampa at Innisbrook. When are we going to see Jordan, back in the mix? You look at his last three starts. Riviera, where he got disqualified for signing the wrong scorecard. Bay Hill, he hit it all over the map as far as his driver is concerned. And then he didn't have his irons last week at the Players.
I don't understand what's going on in that camp. I really don't.
McCormick and Danzy.
With what he started out in how he started his career, and to be in this situation, I don't know how he's going to work out of it. He's got too much bad stuff going on in his head. It's just like yesterday, Justin Thomas finishing the tournament at Innisbrook. He hit a good drive right in the middle of the fairway.
On 18.
And he hit it 40, 60 feet right in the bunker with no chance. I don't know what's going on with these kids. They all got all the new toys. They all got the jets. They all got, $7 million homes. That's hard to handle. That's hard to handle. And, I always said about Tiger Woods, when the only problem he was going to have in life is raising a family, because raising a family is you're the bottom of the chain. You got to support your wife, your kids. You got to think about other people.
Last.
You can't be an individual. So, and as we learned, Tiger's
biggest mistake in life was getting married.
Exploded. He just didn't handle it correctly. Nicholas was the purest guy. He handled being a father better than anybody on the PGA Tour, and because he had a magical wife that kept him centered and keep the priorities in line. So as we move forward, and I hope and I think Scotty Scheffler's situation is really in pretty good shape.
He's got it under control. He's got his faith under control. A strong man of God.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is not going to the golf course and then going to the club or going to the happy hour or going to the party.
Uh-oh.
This guy is shooting 64 and then going home and drinking a glass of water and going going and eating some Chipotle.
I think he has an adult beverage.
Does he?
I think he does.
Little tequila, Charlie?
Tequila.
But not
Sunrise.
much. He's dialed in.
856.
Yeah, 856. I think world number 28, Justin Thomas, wins this week, and I think he wins in a playoff against Chandler Phillips. Who do you think wins at Innisbrook this week? Yeah, I'll give you some names. Kevin Streelman, Chandler Phillips, Stuart Sink, Justin Thomas, Mackenzie Hughes, Keith Mitchell. You've got to take your guy Stuart Sink, Charlie.
Well, Stuart is a senior golfer, and
he's 50.
A straight hitter. He's a real good driver of the golf ball. If his putting can stay with him, he's got a chance. It would be a great victory for Stuart Sink, and I like Stuart and his wife and his family. So, Stuart, go get him.
That's Charlie Epps' pick this weekend. Stuart Sink, 25-1 heading into the weekend with 36 to go at Innisbrook. Charlie, great show today.
Thank you.
Great to be with you this morning.
Yeah. Go.
Guess what? We'll talk next week at the Houston Open, live from
the Houston Open.
Yep. Get a couple guests on, a couple people from the tournament. get the scoop after the first 2 rounds at the Houston Open at Memorial Park. And then we have San Antonio, the San Antonio Open the week after that. I'll be live from there. And then
You going to San Antonio?
I'm going to San Antonio.
That's where I found out that I needed a stint.
Top 5 toughest. No wonder you probably played that golf course.
No, I just got out of the car and I walked up the hill.
Oh.
And I said, what's this all about?
Because TPC San Antonio will give you a heart attack.
Yes.
It's a tough golf course.
It didn't give me a heart attack. It opened up my eyes, and I came back, and Dr. Leachman took good care of me.
Incredible. Great to be with you this morning, Charlie.
Thank
we got to
you.
go. Thank you, Austin, behind the 1s and 2s. We'll see you next week on the Charlie Epps Golf Hour, presented by Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Who's that guy in the back?